So welcome back, EV enthusiasts. I am Rebecca Williams, and we are still celebrating National Drive Electric Week. And today I have the honor to sit down with Danita Park.
Hi, I'm Danita Park. I'm the Director of Electric Vehicle and Commercial Development at NRG. And I have the really fun job of thinking about electric vehicles and strategy for NRG Energy. And I'm really passionate about them, and I hope you are too.
Talk to us about your work that you've done and your crossover into EV.
I did start in the energy industry back in 2000 in electricity. And in 2016, I bought my first electric vehicle. And as a consumer, I found it, and actually as an energy professional, I found it actually a little challenging to really understand how to make this electric vehicle work. So I've really spent the last several years since then understanding electricity, but from the consumer perspective and having a lot of empathy for the consumer. And what I'm working on at NRG right now is how do we make electric vehicles really accessible to families and consumers and accelerate EV adoption.
So let's talk challenges and opportunities. What are some regional headwinds and tailwinds for EV adoption? And how is NRG on the forefront of that?
Excellent question. So some of the biggest headwinds, I think, of EV adoption are that EVs are still relatively foreign. Even though they're out and people talk about them all the time, it's a new way of thinking. You need a new mental model. It's going to change your habits.
Right.
And so I think the biggest challenge right now is really around adoption, awareness, and helping customers understand what they need to know to bring an EV home and bring it into their family and to make it work for them.
So Danita, we live in a city that is massive, and so it's almost impossible to live here without some form of transportation. How can EV help our citizens move and maneuver through this city a lot better?
Whether you are sending your kids to school on an electric vehicle, driving soccer carpool all across the city in an all-electric SUV, or even commuting on an e-bike, electrification of transportation for Houston is possible. So I think where we'll get more affordability on the electric side of things, number one, don't discount electric bikes. They are a lot of fun and they can make that last mile mobility really good. Used electric vehicles, as more EVs come into the fleet, we're going to have a bigger population of used vehicles. The automakers are working really hard to bring the price of EVs down, so I think that's also great. When you look at EVs in general, the cost of fuel is lower, so you're gonna save 40 to 60% on the cost of fuel. They have fewer parts. So with an electric vehicle, you have no engine, you have no transmission, you have no, and the list goes on. And so that means a lot lower maintenance. And then finally, there's incentives out there. And so, and especially for the lower income homes, there are incentives in IRA that are really specified to help make EVs affordable and get over that barrier.
Awesome, awesome. And so family friendly, you talked about the soccer mom, you talked about the school bus. How family friendly is EV?
Oh my goodness. So when you think about an EV, most of them are built on the skateboard platform. So what that means is that the battery's on the bottom of the vehicle, and that frees up all kinds of space.
Okay.
So you're thinking gym bags, golf clubs, groceries. There's a whole thing called a frunk in the front of where the trunk used to be, because there's no need for an engine anymore. So you can store all kinds of family-friendly stuff there. So SUVs, they're here, ready.
All right. Thanks for celebrating National Drive Electric Week with Evolve Houston. Come on, Houston, and join the EV revolution.